Hello, everyone. How's it going? My name is Jesse. This is the auditorium where I react to video game music as a musician myself. Today is a request for The World Ends With You, and the song was called Calling. This is requested by Kevin on Patreon. I have done this game one time in the past, a while ago, and all I remember from that was it was kind of like rock and there was vocals and it sounded like a song like out of a radio or something like that. Anyways, this is, I'm not sure if this is the same game or if The World Ends With You is like a series, because I remember I had Neo in the title before. Anyways, this is Calling from The World Ends With You. That made my head move almost immediately. All right. Very swingy vocal melodies. She's like singing in between each beat. Layered vocals. All right. Interesting, the whole thing is layered. There's always at least 2 or 3 of her in the background. Pre-chorus? Very catchy. Earworm. Oh, sounds like we're changing a bit. Super catchy. Synth following. Square Enix? Oh, today I learned. Okay. Well, one thing remained, that it did sound kind of like on this radio type thing. Like, what I mean by that is, like, it almost doesn't sound like it's from a video game. It sounds like it's just, you know, if I were to put this on a radio and you're just driving around, you're probably not going to immediately guess this sounds like it's from a video game. Maybe not your average person, but to me, it doesn't sound like it. So the vocals at least so far, seem to be a big part of this game, or maybe just the 2 songs I heard. That's also a possibility. Extremely, extremely, extremely catchy. That is probably why it has almost 3 million views. Not to say that the song isn't good at all, but sometimes, regardless of how simple a song can be, and I don't mean that in a bad way, it's just a simple song, the cadence of the vocals, the melodies, and the hook, that's why it's called a hook, because it grabs you tenfold here. Like, I've never heard this in my life, and I'm in my head, I'm like, So, I'm sure if you play this game, I don't know. I would say you hear this a lot, but there's really nothing telling me to say that. It's just, I just feel that way. And either way, it gets stuck in your head almost immediately. That's just the feeling I get. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics. I just know it was catchy. The whole thing, I'm not sure if this is, again, part of the game, or if it's just a musical artist decision, and that's every vocal was layered. So every time she sang, there's 2 or 3 takes of her singing the same thing, and that is takes. So it's not like one time and then copy and paste it again. That would sound doubled and kind of weird. But performs once, performs again, and then they're together. So they have these tiny little nuances that make them, you know, obviously she's gonna harmonize with herself and sound good and like double the sound, but you're gonna hear kind of inconsistencies in between both. You can really hear it a lot in that little slow section before the last chorus, where there was a whole take over here and another whole take over here, and they sound like they're almost slightly off time. It's a cool effect, but the whole song was like that, so nothing wrong with it. It's just something I noticed. But the only reason I brought it up is because maybe it has to do with for example, like say if this is a character theme or something. What's it called again? Calling? Well, let's just use it as an example. If it is a character theme and they maybe have 2 or 3 personalities and they just, you know, that's what they're doing. It's also just a common musical thing, so there could just be no reason for it whatsoever. Just sounds cool. Honestly, this reminded me of one thing, and it's kind of an odd comparison, but you're gonna have to use your imagination here like I do. In the 80s, there was this really, really, really popular genre called freestyle. You had, there was the group Freestyle, there was Debbie Deb, Stevie B, all that stuff, right? You'll recognize it as soon as you look up some of the songs. And honestly, this sounded in a weird way kind of like a modern version of that, except that style was more dance and had a very specific beat. It was like boom, 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 that kind of thing. It was definitely more on the dance side, but honestly, this kind of felt like I kept getting the same vibes from that, which is totally different yet the same. I don't know how else to explain that. This has a little bit more pop and some rock type of elements, but it totally reminded me of that. So, odd comparison. As far as the song, I actually had no idea it was Square Enix. So, just by that guess alone, this may be a crazy guess, but maybe a JRPG? I don't even know if Square does anything else now that I think about it. I don't really know, but I know that's like what they're most known for. But based on the characters, I'm going to assume. But on the music side, I don't know, because I haven't heard anything like that from a Square game, I think. So that makes it even more curious as to where this goes. If I had to guess, like I said, it's either plays a lot somewhere, or this is some sort of credits ending / cutscene music. That's my guess. My second time checking out The World Ends With You, I guess otherwise known as TWEWY. Is that what people say? TWEWY? Seems to be a popular series. I hear about it a lot. You know, even I've heard about it. I've heard about this series. But another square banger, I guess. But I'm totally lost as far as where, who, what does, who, what. Yeah. Song was enjoyable though. Not a whole lot going on. I think to me, the MVP was definitely the vocals and the swing it had, and it's stuck in my head now, and I can still hear it, and it's really, really infectious. Thank you to Kevin for that, and thanks to all my other supporters. Thank you to my platinum members, which are Kevin, Patrick, Shadow Maxim, Vanadel, Kalanin, Gardelane, Mushimari, Justin Knox, and Triage11. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I think I was actually told who composed this. Let me see. Give me 5 seconds. Dumb. Oh. Excuse my ignorance. The requester themselves says the composer is Takeharu Ishimoto, and the singer is Leia? So, glad I remembered that. When people send me stuff, they can leave a little note, and I just remembered that was there, so. Okay, well, tell me about them, because I don't know about them either. I don't know if I've done anything else from them, but I'm sure you will let me know. Anywho, until next time, dudes and dudettes, my name is Jesse, this is the Auditorium. I hope you have a swell evening, morning, whatever. Take it easy.